Tell me you got that on camera. Tell me you got that on camera. Come here. Over $3,000 and I just ruined a beautiful shoot. Not pleased. Welcome to Dish. I'm Andrew and today we're gonna make a rack of lamb. This rack of lamb is gonna be keto friendly. Don't be afraid of the fat because the fat has all the flavor. Are you ready to make this lamb with me? So let's start with the garlic. I'm gonna chop it up. Garlic's all chopped up here. Let's move on to the thyme. You take it like this, see? And you pull it backwards. And you pull the little leaves, biodegradable. So when you're holding your rosemary, you just need to go against the stem, the bottom part of the stem. Just pull it and it falls off real easily. Just gonna roughly chop the rosemary. Now we're gonna add a little bit of mustard. For this one, I'm gonna put some Dijon. Dijon mustard is keto friendly. Ketchup is not. Now we need to add the oil to the marinade. Some avocado oil, just drizzle that in. Time to mix it all up. Like with all sauces, you gotta do a taste test. Just right. If I were to put this directly on the barbecue, I would have to cut all this fat off so it wouldn't burn. But because I'm on a keto diet, I wanna keep this fat because I need fat in my diet. So I'm not gonna trim this off. Look what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna score it. And you just wanna score the fat. You don't want to score the meat. You see here how I scored it? I didn't go down all the way to the meat, I just scored the fat. You see this little skin here, this little flap? Some people like to remove it. I'm gonna keep it on. Most people dry their meat before they score it. For this video, I'm gonna dry it after scoring it. Now it's time to season the lamb. Come. We got some salt here, real simple. Put the salt, got the pepper, flip it around. More salt, more pepper. Now this piece here, just grab. I like to grab all the seasoning that's on the board. Look at that. Now it's time to put the marinade that we prepared just a few minutes ago. I'm gonna use this silicone brush here, so I don't need to get my, my beautiful fingers dirty. Now we're gonna use the cast iron. I'm not gonna flip the lamb on the board because if I flip it on the board, I'm gonna lose some of the marinade on the board. So I'd rather flip the lamb here on the cast iron. Take the lamb, put it fat side down on the cast iron, right? Now it's over here. I take my marinade again and I'm gonna lather it on right here. As you can see, I'm holding the cast iron with my hands. The cast iron is cold. You want it cold. We want to slowly bring it up to temp. We don't want it to hit hard and then it seizes. We want the fat to render nice and slowly. So you see, it's cold. And let's put this here. I'm not gonna close the lid because if I close the lid, we're gonna start cooking the top of the meat. We don't want to cook the top of the meat right now. Again, slowly. So we're back in the kitchen and we're gonna render some fat. We're gonna turn it on and we're gonna put it on a low heat because we want it to slowly heat up. Now that it's been rendering slowly, I'm gonna boost up the temperature just a little bit. Let me reposition that a little bit so we get the right heat at the right area and I'll put it back down. One of my good friends who's a chef once told me, keep an eye on the meat and once you see the juices coming out, it probably means it's starting to get medium rare. Look at that. You see the juices are coming out, but I'm only cooking it from one side, not the other side. So I'm gonna have to pop this in the oven. You wanna know why I gotta pop this in the oven? Because of the shape of the bones. Look at this. You see how the bones are like this? If I turn it over, it's not gonna cook all of the meat perfectly. So I gotta throw this into the oven. The oven's at 450. We're gonna pop it in there for about 10 minutes, not longer. Ooh, look at that sizzle. Beautiful. Oh boy, there we go. So now I gotta take the rack of lamb out of the cast iron because if I keep it here, it's gonna keep cooking. We want it to cool for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna put it over here on the cooling rack. So whether you're making a rack of lamb or a roast beef, a turkey, for every minute that you cook it, you gotta let it rest for a minute. So since this been cooking in the oven for 10 minutes, I'm gonna let it rest for 10 minutes so all the juices go back into the rack of lamb. I'm sure you guys would love it. It's super delicious, super easy to make, especially when you have a barbecue that doesn't break on you. Stay tuned for the end of this video and I'll explain a little bit what happened to my barbecue. So now for a little taste test. Simple, but delicious. And if it was up to me, I'd eat this whole rack of lamb to myself. I'm gonna share it with that guy holding the camera right behind there. We need to talk. In case you didn't realize, that barbecue that fell, that wasn't staged. It's a complete disaster. My wife is quite upset with me. The barbecue's toast, the barbecue's damaged. I need to find the parts so I could fix it because I spent a lot of money and I think the barbecue is less than 2 years old, maybe even a year old, I'm not sure. I'm gonna check my Amazon order. I don't know why it fell. What I can tell you is since day one that I purchased that barbecue, my Napoleon barbecue, I've always had problems with the wheels. It cooked the food perfectly, but when I had to move it around, I couldn't move it around. I definitely cannot move the barbecue when it's on grass. When I have to bring it from one section to another section of my garden, I had to put down plywood, which was pretty annoying. So this is probably the last time I'll be moving this barbecue. If I can't fix it, it's probably going in the trash. This is for sure, up to date, the most expensive dish video I've ever made. I hope you enjoyed this disaster. The food still turned out okay. It still tastes delicious. You could cook it on the barbecue, on the stove, in the oven. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's an easy recipe to make. Till next time, please subscribe to this channel and check out these other great videos.